welcome to episode 5 of SeaJaneKnits. It's been about, 2 weeks since I've done an official podcast. Last week I did a tutorial on Kitchener stitch as I finished up one of the socks that I've been working on for Socktober. And so this week I figured I should do a full podcast, share with you the projects that I've been working on and some of the things that I really want to cast on. So if you remember from the last time, episode 4, I was working on the Cracked Pepper sweater by Alicia Plummer, and I have since got that finished and have been wearing it actually quite a bit. So I've worn it 3 or 4 times already, and it is a awesome classic kind of piece to your knitwear wardrobe. I have it back here, and I knit it in Color Affections, the DK Tweed, and it is awesome. Like I said, a great basic sweater, and it's a top-down raglan and obviously cardigan. So you go back and knit the collar and then pick up stitches for the button band and finish your sleeves, which went really pretty fast. So I'm going to see if maybe I can put this on and show you. It's been actually pretty warm the past couple days, so I haven't gotten to wear it this week, but I wore it last week a bunch. So if I stand back here, you can kind of see the collar, and it just lays really nicely. I'm obsessed with the tweed, and the sleeves are like the perfect length. I shortened them a little bit from the pattern, and I shortened the body as well, but I've been kind of rolling the sleeve up and wearing it that way anyway. So the buttons are just from my local yarn shop, and they're pretty perfect for the sweater. So, and it's great. Anyway, so that's enough, but I love it, and it's great opened, it's great buttoned, so I couldn't be happier with it. So again, it's the Cracked Pepper sweater by Alicia Plummer, and it's actually her cardigan. I'm not sure if I mentioned this earlier, but it's her cardigan version of her sweater Ease, which is a real nice kind of basic pullover. And there's a couple different necklines on that. So if you are interested in that, definitely check out Ravelry and her patterns on there. They're normally written really well, very easy to follow, and have some different sizing on there too, which is nice. So I got that finished, and then I was really trying to get a pair of socks done for Socktober, and it didn't happen. But I guess I could have stayed up all night on Saturday on Halloween to finish them, but I really wasn't that into it. So this is the Hermiones Everyday Sock using Hedgehog Fibers sock yarn in the Monarch colorway. So obviously I have one done. That's what I used for my Kitchener tutorial, and then I am inches away from having the second one done. So that's nice. And I have my little gnome progress keeper on there to give me a sense that I'm kind of accomplishing something. So this morning I got up early and kind of sit down and knitted for a little bit, and I could see how much I got done, which always makes you feel good to feel like you got something accomplished. So I've been working on those. And so I should have those done in the next couple of days, and I'm excited to get some wear out of them. I absolutely love that Hedgehog Fibers, just the speckles. It's so fun to see how it's different in the stockinette stitch versus the textured stitch. And speaking of that textured stitch, I use that, it's a free pattern on Ravelry, and I use that exact same stitch pattern to knit my daughter a hat. out of just some stash yarn that I had kind of left over. This bottom I did a 1x1 rib for a couple inches. I did a twisted rib, and this is out of Malabrigo Rios in the Purple Mystery colorway. For some reason I have a ton of that in my stash. I think I just went crazy with it. This hasn't been blocked or anything, but you can kind of see the stitch pattern there, and actually I think that must be the beginning of my row. So the top part is some Madeline Tosh DK, and I couldn't find the yarn ball label, so I'm not really sure exactly what colorway this is, but again, I love the speckles, and it shows up pretty awesome on the on this textured pattern. One thing I did when I casted on, because I just kind of made up the pattern as I went, I did a provisional cast on thinking that I would actually double this over to give like the extra layer of fabric there to cover over her ears, but I did this bottom part in a worsted weight, actually a heavy worsted, almost an Aran weight yarn on size 5s, and as I was doing it, I started thinking, you know, man, this is really thick enough. I'm not sure I need to double it over. So, you know, I thought, okay, well, I'll just do some kind of bind off there on my provisional cast on edge. And when I went back to pull out the provisional cast on, I don't know, I guess I wasn't paying attention as much as I probably needed to, and so I ended up, I think, only picking up the knit stitches and not the purl stitches, so I ended up with half the stitches I needed on my needle, and it was kind of a mess. So it doesn't look as clean as I would like it to. It kind of flares out a little bit there, but when she has it on, you can't really tell. I mean, you know, you can kind of see as I stretch it out there, you can't really tell, but it's only when it's sitting flat like that. But I think it'll be okay. I did kind of I don't know, I think I just knit a row and then bound off using needle a couple size bigger than what I had. And the top part, I think I used size 7s on. So I think I used 5 down here and size 7 up here. And I ordered the Clover pom-pom makers, and because I've not really been good at making pom-poms where it's the cardboard template or you do it around your fingers, so I ordered the Clover pom-pom maker, and this is the large, I believe. Let's see, I'm pretty sure I have it in this bag. So it's the blue one. I'm not sure if it even has a size on it. It says 85 right now. I'm not sure. Not sure what that is, but it's the blue Clover pom-pom maker. I found a YouTube tutorial about how to do it because the instructions weren't really clear on the packaging. So anyway, so I made a pom-pom using the leftovers here, so I think it'll be really cute. Somebody told me to, I'm forgetting who that was. I'll have to go back and see if I can find it, but somebody told me to put your pom-pom in the dryer. I assume I wash it first or get it damp. Put it in the dryer and it makes it fluff up even more. You can see this one I did pretty thick, and then I gave it a decent haircut. Hopefully it's pretty rounded, all the fuzz flying off of it. So I guess putting it in the dryer must help fluff it up. So I'm gonna try doing that before I attach it to her hat, but I think that'll just be kind of a cute thing there. So she's super excited about her hat once it's done. So I need to get it finished. So that's that and my sweater are really the only things that I've finished, and I'm so close on that pair of socks. So hopefully I will get that done this week. I've kind of been doing some sewing, not knitting related, but I have been using them for my knitting projects. And it's been just kind of a nice change of pace. So this, of course, it's crammed full right now, but this kind of Notion size pouch that I did, I thought was fun with the gold deer heads, and I used a hot pink zipper on this kind of Tiffany blue fabric. Anyway, I thought that was fun, and I needed a new Notions pouch, so it works great for that, and it's got a little flat bottom, so it kind of stands up on its own. And related to that, I've been kind of getting in the Christmas spirit a bit, and if you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen these in some pictures, but I did some project bags or whatever you want to use them for, and I thought that this fabric was really fun. Again, I did the flat bottom on them and did the contrasting fabric on the inside as well, the red polka dots. So yeah, so I thought it was a fun project and something that I know I'll use, and I have some different combinations here. Obviously this one I just showed, this one with the stashing through the snow fabric on the bottom, that one with the red on the bottom, and then this one with the green as the primary, and they all have the kind of opposite contrasting fabric in the lining. So they were fun to do, just kind of a change of pace from the knitting that I've been doing, which I love knitting, but sometimes, especially if I'm trying to put a deadline on myself to get something done, I need something non-knitting related, craft-wise, to kind of break it up. So that was fun. And I guess while I'm talking about Christmas-related things, I borrowed this book. You all know how much I love the Arnie and Carlos sock yarn, and how it does that Fair Isle kind of look for you. So I borrowed this book from a friend, thinking that I would do some Christmas ornaments. So I think we're going to do a ornament exchange, and I thought that it would be kind of fun to do them out of here. So definitely after looking through this, I'm going to get online and order it, because it's just fun. The pictures are fun to look at. You know, like this one I love. I think that's really kind of a fun picture. And there was one in particular in here that I saw that I absolutely fell in love with, and it has some beading on it, or I guess I should say crystals on it, which is kind of interesting how they have you do add those. I guess looking at it, I thought that it was probably just knit in there, you know, how you would normally knit with beads, individual beads, but instead, actually here it has a picture, so it has you gluing on the crystals, and if you can see that reindeer? Oh my god, look at Rudolph. He's so cute. So I want to try to do one like that, because I think that especially the Rudolph one is just adorable. But it's just really well written. Each one of the ornaments has, there's kind of a basic chart, and then they have the Fair Isle piece kind of charted within that. Every ornament starts out the same way with the same kind of number of stitches, increases, and then once you get to a certain point, then you start the Fair Isle chart. So, you know, they share some of their inspiration for some of the designs, which I thought was really fun to look at, to see. Oh, there was one picture in here that I wanted to show you, and I should have bookmarked it because I thought it was really neat. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. So you can see they put them together in a box like that as a gift, and I think that's just a really neat idea. If you have another friend who knits or at least appreciates crafts, or a family member, I think that would just be an awesome gift. And having it in that nice box like that, especially since it's a seasonal kind of thing, gives them a way to put them up and protect it. You know, you could write a little note in there that says something special, or anyway, I just thought it was a really neat idea, and how they have some of them topped with ribbons, kind of to give it that extra decoration. There's a suggestion to put them on your gifts, wrapped gifts, as just an additional present, and a really nice way to decorate them. So personally, I don't give those kind of gifts to people that I know aren't crafters, or don't have an appreciation for that, because if I spend that amount of time working on something, I want somebody to really appreciate it and take care of it. And so for myself, I'm saying that I would only do that for another knitter or another crafter that I know is going to appreciate it and take good care of it. So I thought that was just a really neat way to, you know, 6 ornaments really is not going to take that long in the scheme of things. And, you know, you can just knit the ball using different sock yarns if you don't want to do the Fair Isle. So it's just a really neat idea. Just something very much as a keepsake that would be special. So let's see. Oh, more happy mail that I got this week, or last week actually. I had ordered the Tin Can Knits Great White North book. They published this book, I want to say probably 3 or 4 years ago. I don't know if it has it inside here. It doesn't really matter. But since then, they've decided to add a couple patterns to it and re-release it. And one of those patterns is this Jones sweater, which, yeah, I'm not giving anything away there. So, you know, as with most Tin Can Knits patterns, they're sized from newborn all the way through fairly large adult sizes. So this goes from first size of 0 to 6 months to 4XL. So, you know, you really can't go wrong if you are looking for kind of that garment. There's actually some Christmas ornaments in here as well, which I think is cute. But so anyway, so I knew they were re-releasing it, and I had looked at the book prior and decided it was something I wanted to purchase. So I ordered the ebook and where you can order the ebook and the paperback, and just got the paperback in the mail. I got the ebook immediately, but I just got the paperback in the mail last week, and so it's just fun to go through. You know, the photography in here is really nice too. So, yeah. So can't say enough good things about SeaJaneKnits patterns because they're so well written, and the variety of sizes makes it so worth it. So I got that in the mail last week. Also last week, I got some woolen vine yarn that I had ordered. This is her Halo Alpaca base and the Special Snowflake colorway. And I think right here you can kind of see the halo. So this is a 60% superwash merino, 20% superfine alpaca, and 20% nylon, 437 yards and 100 grams. So that makes it a fingering weight. The color is just gorgeous. You can see some of the speckles in there. So I ordered it thinking that for me, the fact that I'm kind of short-waisted and petite as far as like the width of my shoulders, that I could probably get away with knitting a feather weight cardigan in it. And Kristen from Woolen Vine Yarns actually knit one in the same base as her Rhinebeck sweater, and it just turned out beautifully. So Special Snowflake, it's a new colorway of hers. I thought I would give it a try, and it came with her cute button. She has a podcast, which is I really recommend. It's really a fun one to listen to. The different projects she shares are just really neat, both knitting and sewing and spinning related as well. So cute little thank you card. I thought that was adorable. And just little touches like that are nice. So yeah, so I obviously need to finish that pair of socks. I still have a pair of Arnie and Carlos socks that I'm only 2-3 inches into the cuff on. Need to finish the second one of those. And you know, I just want to cast it all on. So that's kind of one of the problems that I have is continually wanting to start new projects, but I guess it's a good problem. As long as I'm finishing some, right? So speaking of something that I want to cast on, Stephen West of Westknits is getting ready to do his annual mystery knit along, mystery shawl knit along, I guess I should qualify that. Try to pull it up on my phone here. And last year I cast on and was absolutely loving it until he introduced the brioche section. So it comes out in sets of clues, and I guess maybe clue 3 was probably the brioche clue. And I really wasn't feeling brioche at that time. Since then, I did the Brioche Alicia shawl from Andrea Mowry, and think that I mastered that. So it's not as intimidating to me. I just need to figure out if I want to go ahead and finish it or if I want to just frog it. But his new one for this year, so last year it ended up being, you know, he releases different clues each week, and then once it's all released, then he'll release the whole pattern. And so the design is actually called Exploration Station. And I have mine here that I cast on a year ago, And I got, like I said, I got to the point where it was the brioche stitch, and I did one repeat of the brioche stitch and then kind of worried about it. So I put this lifeline in. If you see this light blue yarn in here, I put the lifeline in just in case. But I love the finished projects. So, and it's 2-color brioche, and I think that's what scared me, was the 2-color piece of it. But since then, I've mastered that in that brioche Alicia's shawl that I did, so I don't think that I would have any trouble picking this back up and doing it. So I think that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm going to finish it instead of frog it. I just can't believe that I've had it sitting around for a year already and haven't done that. So I think, I'm pretty sure, at least right now at this very moment, I think I'm going to finish it. So I need to just bite the bullet and do that, because I think after this brioche section, there's another textured section, and I'm in love with the colors I picked for it. So I need to do it. I think, if I'm remembering right, I think this is Zen Garden, the brown is Zen Garden, and the blue is Zen Garden. The green is Tosh Merino Light, and this purple might be Zen Garden as well. So it's beautiful yarn. It feels amazing. These colors are kind of a departure from what I normally pick, but they're beautiful together. So I think I've talked myself into doing it, into finishing it. So in the meantime, his mystery knit along for this year is starting this Saturday. And so Friday, November 6th, Clue 1 comes out. It's called the Doodler. Westknits Mystery Shawl Knit Along 2015. Of course, he's got a group on Ravelry where you can get super involved in the Ravelry side of it, you know, posting on Instagram and using the hashtags there. It takes 3 different colors. Color A, which is kind of like your main color, the star of the show, 355 yards of fingering weight yarn. Color B, 285 yards, and color C, 395 yards. So yeah, we'll see. But of course, you know my infatuation with Hedgehog Fibers and how much I love the Monarch colorway of their sock yarn, which is that speckly look. And Hedgehog has put together some kits which are just absolutely stunning. And you know, if you want to do it and you don't want to go stash diving and you want to buy new yarn for it, I cannot say anything bad at all. I mean, about their yarn. It was amazing to work with to knit these socks. It would be amazing to knit a shawl in, and one of these days I will, but right now I went stash diving because I need to use up some of what I have. So here's what I was thinking, because it calls for 3 colors and you kind of want the contrast between the colors. I had these 2 already caked up, and I thought about adding this. Of course, it's me, so I would add gray to it. So this top one is, I think, Archangel. And it's a Malabrigo fingering. This one is a Malabrigo fingering as well, but I don't remember the colorway and can't find the tag. And then this one is a Yarn Love in silver lining. So I thought these 3 would be pretty together, and since I already have 2 of them caked up, and then I thought this time of year, because I think it's just 4 clues, and the fourth clue comes out on November 27th. So you know, I mean, if you're knitting and finishing the clues 1 per week and doing it that way, kind of as he has it laid out, then the thought is that you would be finishing it in the beginning of December, and I thought, how fun would it be to have a shawl in some Christmas colors? And so these are the 3 that I had pulled out of my stash. I had, both of these are Miss Crosby's, and I'd actually signed up for the Loops Club, where you get yarn and a pattern each month for 4 months, I think. And these came in with kind of an ombre cowl, which was super cute, but I've just been working on other things, so I haven't used it. So I thought, add a green to that, and wouldn't that be awesome as a Christmas shawl? So, and it's not like overly like in your face Christmas. I think the tonal variation in the yarns is nice for that. And then this one is 3 Irish girls, and it's in their Glenhaven Cashmerino fingering, which would be amazing in a shawl, and Katharine Hepburn colorway, so love her. These Miss Crosby's are the Satchel base, which is 100% superwash merino, and this one's called Sam Red, and this one is called Squid Ink. So these 3 together I thought would be really fun. So kind of leaning towards this, even though I have the other ones caked up, and starting off with it that way and seeing where it goes. So sorry if you can hear my washing machine in the background. I forgot I set it to delay start, and so it's starting in the middle of the podcast. So anyway, so those are the kind of the things that that I either have on the needles or want to cast on. With that Westknits, the Doodler Clue coming out this Friday, I'm thinking I'm going to wind that red, green, and gray and just go with it. You know, initially I thought I haven't even finished the one from last year, so what am I doing getting ready to cast on another one? But it's just sitting there anyway. It's yarn that's sitting there in my stash, so what's the point in just leaving it in my stash? I need to enjoy it. So that's just kind of how I look at it, you know. I've purchased it, it's called to me, the colorway or the yarn has kind of called to me for one reason or another, and it may not have been used towards its original intention, but if I'm going to get some enjoyment out of it, and you know, whether it's that relaxation I get from knitting, or whether it's, you know, just how beautiful and wonderful it feels in my hand and how beautiful it looks when I look at it, that's why I bought it in the first place. So anyway, that's kind of how I feel about my yarn. Other people approach it differently, and that's totally fine, you know, to each their own, but I want to get some enjoyment out of it. And you know, yeah, it looks pretty on a shelf, but I want to be able to touch and feel it, and use it, and hopefully finish whatever project I'm using to knit with it, and get some enjoyment out of using that finished product. So yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. Hopefully you have seen something today that's inspired you to try something new, whether it's a fabric, a pattern, you know, a new fiber. I will post the link to the Westknits knit along. I'll post I guess it's probably an Amazon. I'm probably going to get on Amazon and find this book. So I'll post the link to that. Otherwise, I think it's pretty much the stuff that I've shared in the past. I've just been able to finish some of it up. So, you know, until next time, I hope you've enjoyed kind of spending some time with me today. Hopefully you've gotten some time to relax and re-energize. And next week I plan on doing another podcast. So hopefully you'll see this Westknits knit along casted on by then. You'll see a finished pair of socks. Those are kind of my goals. So until next time, have a great week and happy knitting.